Jamil with MILMID Studios. Thank you so much for tuning in to another video, and thank you for your continued support. In this video, it's kind of, I guess, a hiking slash nature slash landscape POV photography video. But stay tuned till the end. We go into Lightroom and I edit one of the bracketed photos that I took. If you guys want to see my method in editing, thank you guys again so much. Enjoy the video, and if you guys enjoy the content, be sure to hit that like, comment, and subscribe, and also check out my website at milmidstudios.squarespace.com. That's www.milmidstudios.squarespace.com. Let's get into the video. All right, guys, we made it up to the ink pot. I just stopped my time, give or take. I have it at an hour and 30 minutes, but give or take, to get up here, you're looking at like an hour 15 to an hour 30 minutes, I think is a reasonable time. A lot of the time I was trying to keep up with my dad, to be honest with you. But here we are at the ink pot. It's just a great view all around. And I'm looking for the perfect shot. So we'll be around here taking some pictures. And then when I find something good, I'll get my tripod out and we'll bracket underexposed, overexposed, and perfect exposure, merge them and see what we can do. Dad is running the EOS R with the 70 to 200. And I have the R3 with the 15 to 35. A little shifty. Well, that's nice. F5.6. I wish I had a bit more height for this composition, but matter of fact, I might go a little farther down, like over there would have been nice. Let me see. I'm gonna try not to fall off here because my hands are full. But I think I have a composition over here. Oh God, that's kind of shaking. Oh, one more thing, guys. I dropped the R3. Can you see that over there? I dropped it while taking a picture of lightning. It wasn't secured onto the tripod and it was really dark out. I was really sad. I got over it pretty quick though. But I guess I'm not selling this camera. Yeah, I think I like this over here. Okay, there we go. That tree was in my way otherwise. We'll go up here, right here. So this is the shot we're gonna take. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Every single time I put this thing on, I mess up somehow, so I'm gonna take my time here. All right, I think we have a nice composition here. We're zoomed all the way out to 15 mil. We're gonna go to f11. We'll put the VND filter all the way maxed out to 5. You know what, we'll go to f16. So here's a perfect exposure. We're gonna put a 2-second timer on just to avoid that shake. There we go. And we're perfectly leveled. There it is. We're gonna do one underexposed. You know what, we'll go overexposed first. And now, one stop underexposed. Perfect, we'll see how that came out. There we have it. I think that's gonna be it for today. We'll probably take a few shots on the way back, but join me in Lightroom if you want, and we will edit these photos. Thanks for sticking around, guys. Hello everyone, welcome back. It is Jamil with MILMID Studios. Welcome to Lightroom. We're going to edit. But first I wanted to show you this picture. It's one of my favorite from my trip to the ink pots. I actually wasn't even recording when I took this picture. That's the most ironic thing. But, you know, it really appealed to me, and you know, I can show you guys how I edited this picture. If you are interested, hit that like button, drop a comment if you want to see kind of a walkthrough on how I edited this. And you could also look at the original photo to see the before and after. So this is the picture we're going to be working on today. I took 3 bracketed shots, as you guys saw in the video. So it's 1168, which is perfectly exposed, 1169, which is overexposed, and 1170, which is underexposed. We can see here the different settings. So we're shooting at 15 mil using the RF 15-35 f2.8, but we're at 0.6 of a second, f16 with an ISO of 100 for the perfect exposure. For the overexposed, we're at 1.3 seconds, and then for the underexposed, we are at 1/4 of a second. So I already merged the photos, and this is the culmination of those 3 photos, if I can say that. So all you have to do to merge them, guys, is you select 1168, 1169, 1170. I just hold down the control button for my window users, and then I right-click here, and then I photo merge HDR. It will build a preview, and then you can select your level of deghosting. I had some artifacts in the clouds before, so I did a low deghosting, and this is what I got. And the reason there is changes in the sky and possibly the water and maybe some of the shrubberies because of the wind is because in between the time it takes you to take the photos, the long exposures, things move, the clouds move. So low deghosting was allowed me to get rid of the artifacts in the sky. But we're going to get right into it, guys. We're going to start from the top here. We're going to go from the top down. I don't want to hold you guys here too long, but we are going to increase the exposure here. Contrast, we'll just boost it just a bit to 12. Highlights, I typically drop in most circumstances. We'll drop it not all the way, but down to -70. Shadows, we're going to lift. There we go. We can see what's going on. The whites, increase the whites slightly, let's say to 20. Blacks, we will decrease the blacks, make it a little bit more dramatic. And just let me boost the shadows just a bit as I decrease the blacks there. Perfect. Then we're going to go to texture. Boost the texture just to 15. You know what? We'll boost the clarity to 10. We'll leave the dehazing as it is. And you know what? We're going to keep the vibrance and the saturation as it is. I kind of like how the colors are popping. I think we'll keep it simple, stupid. The tone curve, let's drop our 3 anchors. That's typically what I do. You can drop more if you want and adjust them how you see fit. But I'm going to lift the shadow, just make it a little matte. I don't want to like overdo it like this, but we'll lift it just a bit, just like that. We'll drop that down there, come up to the midpoint, and you know what? It is kind of good in the center, but a slight adjustment actually, just down a little bit. I'm going to leave that there. And for the highlights, we're not going to do too much, just a slight S-curve for this because the exposure is really good and you don't have to do too much, right? There were some people over here and I'm going to get rid of them like this. I'm going to use the erase tool. I'm going to go as small as I can. I guess I can go a little smaller. We're going to go like this. We're just going to touch them. Look at that. They're a stone now. And we're going to leave that. But typically, guys, if you don't like that, you can make them a tree. You can make them a little bush. You know what? We want to make it try to look as natural as possible. Now I'm getting picky. We'll do that. And I see some blue over there. You know what? We'll leave it just like that. And just like that, those people are gone. Okay, so I like the way this is looking right now. It's really poppy, really nice. That could even be a final product. Like, I think that looks really nice. There's a lot going on, but what we'll do, we will do some color grading here. And we're just going to play around with the sliders. I don't know exactly what I want to go for, but, you know, something like this. I like that right there. Blues are nice there in the shadows. And then for highlights, we may leave the highlights as they are. One thing I want to do for the HSL color here is I want to make the yellows a bit more green, slightly. Bring up the luminance, and then we'll make the greens a little bit more yellow. Look what happens when you drag the greens all the way to the right. That just does not look natural at all. So I like to play around with the greens a little bit. You know what? We'll keep the greens a little bit more green. Right there. Luminance. Bring that up a bit. I think that's all for that. Bring up the sharpening because we can. I'm not seeing a lot of noise at all in this picture, guys, so I don't see any benefit or any need to denoise or, you know, reduce the noise. Lens correction, I believe that's all set up already. The program already identifies the lens and it corrects for any distortion. It removes all chromatic aberration, which I haven't had any issues with this lens. And effects, let's see what happens. You know what? We'll do a little bit of vignetting. Just a little bit. -14 is fine for me. I don't really touch too much in that regard for landscapes. And then for the blue primary, what I like to do is I typically like to bring that up a little bit. I don't change this typically, but let's see what happens when you do. Just like that, you change the season. And then you can go a little crazy like you're tripping on some sort of illicit drug. But we'll leave that there. Let's check the green for saturation. We're going to bring that up a little bit. It really brightens things up. And then the red, just ever so slightly to +12. We'll leave that the way it is. Now we're going to start targeting specific areas in the photo. I see over here, it's a little dark. We're going to, I love the radial, as you guys will see if you guys look a lot of my editings. Increase the shadows. There you go. We'll pop some clarity in there, just a touch. And then this tree over here, I'm going to also, I like what I did over here in this area. So I'm actually, instead of making a new mask, I'm just going to use the settings that I already established on this mask. So I'll just go add. You can brush it. You can use a linear gradient. I'll use the radial in this case. And just so you can see the difference that's making, it's ever so slight. It's those slight touches. I'm going to go with another radial down here. Just about there. And then I'm going to add a brush. We're going to increase that brush size. Unfortunately, my screen recording program glitched out as I was doing the tutorial. So, you know what? The good news is that I did the brunt of the tutorial with you guys. The rest of what I did was mainly just targeting specific areas and just doing light touches, lifting shadows, bringing clarity up, that kind of thing. I also touched the sky up ever so slightly. So I just wanted to put the final product on the screen here for you guys, and I want to compare it to the initial product, the initial image. So you can see for yourself kind of the flexibility you have within Lightroom and some of these other editing programs. If you guys enjoyed this content, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't as yet, and also follow my socials, Instagram at MILMID Studios, and Vero. I just installed Vero at MILMID Studios. And finally, check out my website, www.milmidstudios.squarespace.com. Thanks, guys, and at the end of the day, don't forget to keep on shooting.